The past 24 hours, we found out that Pooh Shiesty is probably one of the worst and stupidest criminals of the year after doing something that's going to land him potentially in jail for the rest of his life. Now, he posted several videos before he got arrested. There's a lot of stuff that's been coming out. His dad actually just got released. He's currently on house arrest. A lot of rappers have responded. There's a lot of people calling Gucci Mane a snitch. But let me start this off by actually showing you guys the footage in 4K of Pooh Shiesty robbing Gucci Mane. Now this is footage that's coming out. TMZ just posted it, and this is Pooh Shiesty and his crew with ski masks. They got the Shiesties on. They pulled in with an AK-47 in a black bag, and they robbed Gucci Mane for everything he has. Now a lot of people actually want Gucci Mane to not snitch.
His mother says that Gucci made $24 million while he was in prison. Didn't give him one brown penny while he was in prison. When he came home, he didn't get nothing. So they called the business meetings for him to fly to Dallas. He came to Dallas with his white boy cameraman, his off-duty police officer, security guard, and Pooh Shiesty, his daddy, and about 7 other niggas kidnapped him, robbed him, kicked him in the ass.
But why'd they do that to Gucci? Why'd they do it?
Well, they were mad because they feel like he made all that money and didn't give them none. And he showed up and said he couldn't pay them because they were broke. So they forced him at gunpoint to sign to release him from a contract.
So how did this all come out? How did Pooh Shiesty, how they end up finding out?
Because the feds had him on a leg monitor, so they followed him and watched him do it, just like they watched the mob people commit crime.
Now this article reads, Pooh Shiesty and his crew have been federally charged with the robbery and kidnapping of Gucci Mane, and the suspects were allegedly captured on surveillance. The DOJ says Shiesty and his alleged co-conspirators executed an armed takeover during which they say Shiesty forced Gucci at gunpoint to sign a release letting Shiesty out of his recording contract. It's almost like we forgot what lawyers are for. It's almost like we forgot that once we become millionaires, once we have enough money, we can actually go and pursue these things in court like every other person in America does, like every other business owner in America does. And if you go out here and rob somebody in daylight where there's a lot of surveillance cameras and footage, you're just essentially asking to go back to prison. Along with the indictment, the feds included several snapshots of surveillance from the building Gucci studios in, which appeared to show the group of suspects entering the building and one of them leaving to retrieve the duffel bag. That bag is a pretty big deal because that allegedly held the AK-47 the crew used to threaten Gucci to sign the release. The AK-47 is just so extra. They could have just used a regular gun, but they wanted to be gangsters. They wanted to feel like they were part of Narcos. They wanted to feel like they were really them, right? And they pulled in with an AK-47. Do you guys believe that Pooh Shiesty would have done the exact same thing if it was just a regular white dude like the Universal Studio CEO? Do you think he would have done this exact same thing? Or do you think that, maybe that white dude's gonna snitch and Gucci Mane ain't gonna snitch because Gucci Mane street? Is that the mentality you think Pooh Shiesty had? Because I feel like that's a mentality that needs to be stripped out of the minds of people, because this is no longer the 1990s. This isn't the Eazy-E, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre movie. That doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work for anybody. That's why so many rappers are either dead or in prison. I'm honestly tired of seeing people who make good music go to jail and just have a couple hits and then like, you know what, my life is over. I made money and then I didn't know what to do afterwards, so now I'm in prison for the rest of my life. Federal officials also say Shiesty and his crew stole Rolex watches, jewelry, and cash from their alleged victims during the incident because signing the deal wasn't enough. We broke the story. Pooh Shiesty was arrested Wednesday by the FBI in Dallas. His family home in Memphis was raided and his father was also arrested. And honestly, this just goes to show that having a good father figure in your life really shapes who you are, because as a father you would probably tell your son like, hey, you're a multi-millionaire, you're a millionaire, you can become a multi-millionaire and get this family out of the streets if you're smart enough and do things the right way. But that's not an option for these people, right? They just want to go to prison because that's all they know. If convicted, Shiesty could be headed back to federal prison, a place he just left just 6 months ago. I don't know if prison is that fun. Like, is it really that fun that makes you like want to go back 6 months after you just served a couple years in there? And then now this time it's going to be much worse? Or you think that he just feels so powerful and so unstoppable at the time that he's just not even thinking? Now, Academics posted this video and he titled it saying, Pooh Shiesty posted 2 hours before on Instagram his paperwork proving he wasn't a snitch. Then 2 hours later went to rob Gucci Mane at gunpoint. Date of post and incident both January 10th. He posted at 1 p.m. and got to the studio at 3 p.m. according to the feds.
Supersede indictment, man. This the indictment after our original indictment. So we got indicted twice. So they smacked us with more charges. thinking that shit will break us or make us. Conspiracy to possess firearms in front of the drug trafficking, violent crimes. 3 other solid niggas you will ever see name on a piece of paperwork. Bankroll, D-roll. These niggas solid, nigga. These niggas solid, nigga. We kept it G. We traumatized about this shit, my nigga. For real, nigga. I really went through it. You niggas better watch our mouth when y'all say a name, cuz I was facing 20 plus or 20 plus another 20 plus life. Never told it, never folded. All my shit add up. Yeah, nigga, every page add up. You see 1 through 10 on anything. Stop playing with it. I ain't made for real. You don't know the half of this shit or what's really going on. Yeah, my paperwork 4,000 pages long. I go all day with this shit. You don't know what really going on. You know what you see on the internet. You content creating ass.
Now you can hear how brainwashed Pooh Shiesty is, because nothing that he just showed me personally is cool. What is the point of be making all this money if you're never even going to be able to leave the country? This doesn't make you cool. Who does this make you cool to? People should fear prison a bit more if you think about it, and not having any fear is essentially just not caring about your life, and that is what a crash out is. Somebody who doesn't care about their life. Why would you want to be around people like that? What is the point? Genuinely, what is the end goal? Now, Rick Ross gave some good advice to the people. I don't know why more rappers aren't giving the same advice, but he essentially said everything I just said in his own way, in his own words. Just listen to what he said.
My DM Rose, what you think, how you feel about the Guwap Pooh Shiesty situation? I don't like it for either side. You know what I'm talking about? Guwap most definitely didn't deserve that, and I don't want to see this for the little homie Pooh Shiesty, but this is when niggas gotta be educated and understand. In business, you gotta negotiate, my nigga. You gotta negotiate. If you were signed for 100K and now you got 10 M's on the table, it's time to negotiate. This how we do this. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody win. Let's go. That's how I gotta go, my nigga. You can't muscle your way out of no shit and no business. It don't go that way. And I ain't just talking about on the people side, but on the other side, the blitz gonna come. You can't run from it, homie. That's the way it goes. Negotiate. It's time to educate. I want to see young hustlers from the South win. I want to see it. There was a time I got Gotti and Guwap on the phone together. Us 3 on the phone. And it ain't nothing to discuss. It was no disrespect. It was no raised voices. Rose just wanted to plant that seed. And I understand one phone call may not fix all the situations, but you want to plant that seed where niggas may be able to move forward one day, get some paper one day. The CMG 1017 tour one day, that was Rose mindset. And I wish nothing but my homies the best. When it come to business, let's negotiate. Can't take the streets to the do. We're gonna get a life sentence with that shit bullshit. Let's get to the B's.
A month before his arrest, Pooh Shiesty said his main goal was to buy this $11 million compound and move to Texas with his family. This is a $11 million compound he posted on his Instagram. This was his goals, and I think the problem is, as soon as you get to the point that you no longer have to be in the streets, you step away from it. Ask 50 Cent. He's a great example of that. He was really out there, and now he's what, 50 plus, has his own movie production. He's making fun of all these rappers and artists who are landing in prison, and he's considered to be one of the greats. Why is he one of the greats, and people like this, why aren't they one of the greats? Because these people are stupid and don't know when to step away, and 50 Cent was smart. People like 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, all the people who grow up in the streets are smart enough to know when to step away and not put themselves in a position that's going to land them in prison. So when Gucci Mane and his team arrived at the studio, Pooh asked to speak with Gucci privately in a separate recording room. Pooh then produced a contract release form and demanded that Gucci sign it. When Guwap refused, an argument ensued. Pooh then told Big 30 to grab a bag, from which Pooh retrieved an AK style rifle and pointed it at Gucci, prompting Gucci to comply, obviously. One of Pooh's co-conspirators pulled out a cell phone and recorded Gucci signing the release form at gunpoint while being forced to say he released Pooh from his contract. This video, if it's ever released, is going to be so insane. Honestly, it's just so stupid. Why would you record yourself committing a crime and a kidnapping at this level? Afterward, Pooh robbed Gucci Mane of his wedding ring, watch, earrings, and cash. Like, why? What is the point of that? Who are you trying to, like? I don't understand that. Members of Gucci's crew were blocked from leaving the studio they were in and robbed of their valuables, which included a 1017 chain. A man identified as MM was choked to the point of nearly losing consciousness during the robbery. At one point, Gucci was pushed onto a couch, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Pooh pointed the barrel of the gun at the back of a man identified as BP's head and ordered Gucci and crew to leave. Gucci Mane and other victims identified Pooh and Big 30 to the authorities, with Pooh being described as wearing a black Nike brand Shiesty mask during the robbery. Pooh and his co-defendants are facing up to life in prison if found guilty. One of the funniest parts too is MM was robbed of his Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag containing multiple other high-dollar watches, Apple AirPod headphones, which, by the way, if you know, you can track the Apple AirPods, and his wallet at gunpoint by Glover. MM confirmed his Louis Vuitton bag, AirPods, wallet each had an Apple AirTag location tracking device attached. So I just genuinely do not understand what they were thinking, what the end goal was, what kind of movie, how many drugs they did before, who came up with the plan, who agreed. His friends are probably some of the worst friends you can have in the world, because nobody said for a second like, hey bro, we're gonna go to prison for the rest of our lives over this. And they probably said like, nah, we're gonna stay solid, we're gonna beat the, I don't know. Every time I try to think about it and look around it, it's just probably one of the worst crimes ever committed by a rapper. I can't think of any other right now. When somebody asks me who the worst criminal rapper is, I'm gonna say Pooh Shiesty.
The rules of the streets is if you cooperate with law enforcement and give them any information on any name other than yours, then yes, you are a rat. These are the rules of the streets. For the last 5-10 years, everywhere I seen Gucci wasn't the streets. A yacht, an exclusive birthday party, a weekend trip to Vegas where he's locked down in his suite, enjoying his friends, social media where he's signing the artist to his label. I haven't seen Gucci rolling a blunt, personally. So is Gucci still upheld to the rules of the streets? Is he a Crip? Is he a Blood? Is he a GD, a BD, a Vice Lord? Who does he hang with? I don't believe he hangs with anybody but his wife and his family. I believe he socializes and associates with his business partners and who he deems to be his friends. Listen, everybody better open their eyes up. Just because you playing the game your way, don't be the next man is not gonna play the game they way. So when we look down this checklist, is Gucci a street or has he crossed over into being a civilian? Yeah, well, Gucci, remember, he shot and killed the dude at his house. That ain't the ways of a street. That's the ways of a man. Remember, Gucci used to be, and he this, and he said this and this and that. Yeah. My father, 30 plus years ago, used to be a crackhead. I think it's been 1994, 26 and 6. 32 years, I have yet to see my father in the form of a crackhead. So I can get mad all I want. I can't call Robert Lee Jones Jr. a crackhead. I can call him an addict. I can call him an ex-addict. But I can't call him a crackhead today because that's not what he does. He's a pastor. You get what I'm saying? I tell you guys all the time, I don't gang bang no more. Haven't gang banged in a couple decades, bro. Plus, My street moniker used to be CK Whack, Crip Killing Whack. We didn't have to know where you was from. If you looked the part, you played the part, you had on blue, or had to identify something from that side, lay him down. We don't need to know his name. We don't need to know nothing. Now, I don't give a damn if you got every color of the rainbow on. I'm gonna hit you with, how you doing, my brother? You can be Crip, blood, straight, gay, Muslim, Christian, I don't care. As long as you extend me respect, I'm gonna extend you respect. I can give a damn where you from, where you not from. But coming out of the store and you sitting at the gas pump and you got kids in the car, you got blue chucks on, blue bandana in your pocket with a blue LA hat on. And you say, hey, homie, I'm trying to get to the house. I ran out of gas. My kid's hungry. I'm going to go in that store. I'm going to give him a $100 bill and say, fill up pump 4. Hey, homie, I just filled your vehicle up. Let me know if you need something else to get the kids something to snack on till you get to the house. I don't care where you from. I think this is the Gucci Mane side of things. I believe Gucci said, I came here to do business. I spent my time, my money. I got to pay for my security, the studio, the private jet I came in on. I had to leave the comforts of my family, leave the security of me protecting my family to come out here and sit with this young man and have a conversation and see what his gripe is so we can work it out. We've already got millions of dollars together. And when he called him and told him, hey, this is where I got it set up. Come on, let's get to it. And, you know, Gucci Mane, after we finish working it out, because he going to work it out, we get to the recording booth. They came in playing gangster. Does Gucci come from the street? Yes, he does. Is Gucci still street today? No, he's not. Is he capable of understanding and responding as he is? Yes, he is. Is this his daily practice? No, it's not. He's really a humble dude today. He's a man. You know, you ain't got a color or the streets don't make no man. It's the man that made bad decisions that went to the streets. And some of us was forced to go to the streets to survive in the streets.
Help me understand this, y'all. Please help me. I really need help. Pooh Shiesty did all that time in jail, in the feds. He around people that have unbelievable cases where it show how far the feds willing to go. Pooh Shiesty came home, y'all, and made the first day out, they sent him right back to jail. Pride and ego is our main enemy. That's why I call myself Wooded versus Wooded. I have to fight myself every day to not let these suckers trick me back in jail. To not let these suckers trick me away from my kids and take my life. That young nigga came home, bro, and did NBA Youngboy numbers. First song he put out, they said he was gonna flop. That young nigga went to the top. He had all the cars, the lifestyle, everything he dreamed of having. But he didn't change his mindset. Look what the boy did. The boy done went and did some stupid shit. Caused him to go back to jail. Listen, young man. We our own enemy. This stop when we change our mindset. Man, we ain't gotta fake an image no more. We did what these wish they can do. We ain't gotta keep doing it. That's why I say these niggas play the game till they lose. You gotta know when to get out of it, bro. You gotta know when to say, okay, this is it. Because they all love you, they gas you on. And when they fucking putting handcuffs on you, and you come to the realization that this shit is real, now y'all wonder why Wooda walk the way he walk and talk the way he talk. That the feds are real. That cemetery with all them bodies in there is real. This ain't Grand Theft Auto. This ain't no TV show. This our real lives. And y'all wonder why these white people don't want to see us with no money. Because we do stupid shit with it. You had no business doing that. You folks came out here and led by example. God bless the rest of y'all.